on, Blunts here. I just wanted to check in real quick before we start the build. I've been getting a lot of complaints about the my microphone, so I'm trying a different one. It's still a headset microphone, but I think it has a better mic. But we'll find out when we upload this. So let's get to the mods first. It isn't really mandatory. It's just this one hair unlocked by Shane. This is how you get the Orin hairstyle. So I just got that Orin hairstyle since I'm going to be wearing Orin's clothes. Also keep in mind that you won't be able to wear Orin's clothes until Act 3, so unless there's a mod out that can give it to you early, I haven't found it yet. Level 20, you'll have to use this mod, which unlocks levels 13 to 20 in the game, and you can cast spells at higher spell slots. So that is going to come in handy, especially with the Witchblade. We're going to be getting level 9 spell slots. So let's move on to the next mod. Right, now the main mod you're going to need is this one. It's Witch Class by Nuto 1 through 3. It's pretty updated, and it unlocks the Witch class along with 4 subclasses. So let's go ahead and read these. If you ever wanted to play as a witch, now you can. A full intelligence-based caster with 4 subclasses balanced around tactician difficulty. So when we get in the character creator, we can talk about the different subclasses, but basically the witch has a pool of witchcraft points that can be spent to modify spells, kind of like how a sorcerer can use sorcery points, witches use witchcraft points. So if that makes sense, let's just get straight into it so we can see what some of these spells look like. Alright, level 1 witch, you're gonna get witch form cat, which is really nice. You can get in and out of places. Lesser create water is a cantrip that drops water, and then for spells I usually pick fog cloud because you can blind or heavily obscure things. And then you get pincushion, which is a nice little new cantrip specific to the witchcraft. I guess it sounds like a cantrip for a witch. Here's some more cantrips. Obviously, I'm going to go with the cat form, because if you're a witch, you got to have the cat form. And then I go with the lesser create water. But you can pick any of these vanilla spells. Arcane blade is, and then here's these vanilla. See, they got create or destroy water right there. The spell version, I got Tasha's Hideous Laughter, Find Familiar. Find Familiar is good because with it you can summon a raven, and the raven can blind people that you're fighting. Let's say you're doing like a solo run. Mage armor is really good too because you are not going to have any armor proficiencies. Oh yeah, race-wise we went with human. I forgot to mention that earlier, but I just did that because I don't know, it made the most sense. Tasha's Hideous Laughter over Fog Cloud, I can see it. This one's going to be urgent just because it's a hireling, but pick whatever backgrounds you want, but put your stats something like this: 8, 16, 14, 16, 10, and 10. It keeps wisdom and charisma kind of balanced, so you can even be a main character. You just won't have that high charisma, but you won't have a negative. And for skill proficiencies, you can go Arcana and Insight. You can pick up Medicine because Witch actually gets some healing spells, so Medicine can actually work. But yeah, you could take off Arcana and put it on Medicine. Have fun, it's your game. Alright, let's move on to level 2. Alright, at Witch level 2, we're going to be able to pick our specialization, our health is going to go up, and we're going to get witchcraft points. Starting at level 2, witches gain a small pool of witchcraft points, which grows every even level, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We're going to get 2 new spells, a passive, don't worry about experimental alchemy. Here's the spells. You're probably best off going with minor illusion. Well, it's a cantrip. And then here you can get Find Familiar, which you can summon a crow, or Just go for lesser regen if you need it. Or even the spell create or destroy water. Entangle. Yeah, just have fun with this class. Mage armor could work, especially if we're not going to be wearing armor. That could help. Actually, yeah, let's get that since we're wearing light armor or no armor, right? Nah, I'm indecisive. I'm gonna pick the heal, just in case you don't have a heal, you know. All right, these are the witchcraft passives. If you can notice, these 5 up here look like sorcerer ones, right? Because that's kind of like how the witchcraft operates. It's like an intelligence sorcerer instead of charisma. So look through these and find which one you need the most. Seduce can work. I usually like picking slumber, so you can just straight up put somebody to sleep. Nice crowd control right there. Alright, these are the subclasses. Herbalist is what I was talking about. Experimental alchemy. Then we have Frost Witch, Hex Witch, which comes with Warp Fortunes. When a creature you can see makes an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, you can use your reaction and spend 1 witchcraft point to roll a 1d4, applying the number rolled as a bonus or penalty, your choice, to the creature's roll. And you also get Bane and Hex. Hex Witch sounds fun, but we're going with Witchblade for this build, obviously. And the proficiencies down here, it's just basically all the swords. Scimitar, great sword, short sword, rapier, and long sword. But then we also get Witchblade dodge. You can evade attacks, and enemies receive disadvantage when they try to strike you with a melee attack. You get Voltaic Edge, where you can spend witchcraft points to get some extra lightning damage for a few turns. And you get the ritual spell called Long Strider, which will just you can give your whole team extra movement speed. I'm not going to replace any spells. Level 3. We're going to get 2 new spells. Usually here I like going for Hold Person and then Mirror Image, just for a little bit of defense. And then you're going to pick a fighting style. Dueling, if you want to do Sword and Shield or Duelist Prerogative. Great Weapon Fighting if you want to do a 2-handed weapon. I usually pick 2-weapon fighting. I know she only has 1 weapon on right now, but I mean, you're a Witchblade. Have more blades, more blades the merrier. All right, level 4, we're gonna get a feat, and we're gonna get more witchcraft points because remember this is the next even level. I like to get darkness here, and then most of the times you're gonna want to pick alert, especially if you're in honor mode. But I'm going to go ASI just to get the intelligence up. That's our spellcasting modifier, by the way. Alright, witch level 5, we're going to get an action called Burning Edge, which is kind of like the lightning one, where you add lightning damage to your weapon attacks. Now we're going to be adding fire damage to our weapon attacks, and I believe these can stack. You can do fire and electric. Witch Step is basically just Misty Step. It's a cantrip though, so that's really good. It's a conjuration cantrip. It just costs witchcraft points. And you have Conjure Barrage, where you channel your weapon's essence into destructive, widespread volley. And you get invisibility. Touch someone, turn them invisible. Right here, we're going to get another spell. I like to get the heals, just to have them. We're not going to replace anything. Level 6, we're going to get a new spell, a few new passives, but we're also going to get extra attack. Well, you should know, if you don't know what extra attack is, basically you can make an additional free attack after making an unarmed or weapon attack. If you gain the extra attack feature from more than one class, they don't add together, unless it's Tactician. Now, For this spell, we can get gaseous form. We're just gonna wanna, you're gonna wanna not wanna get hit. Alright, the next passive, I usually go with expanded witchcraft. It increases your total witchcraft points by 4. So that just means you do more witchcrafty stuff. And then here, look through all these, but I go Kismet's Eye. This creature can see within magical darkness. And we picked up darkness, so this is kind of like how warlocks can do that. They can cast darkness, but then they can also see through magical darkness if they pick the right ability. Alright, witch level 7, we're gonna get a new spell, and we're gonna get Witchblade. Melee weapon attacks with weapons you are proficient in, which should just be swords, just only use blades for Witchblade. It's going to do additional slashing damage equal to our intelligence modifier, which is a +4 right now. It's eventually going to be +5, so... spells at this point, I go Evards, so you can make some difficult terrain. Now, level 8. Health's gonna go over and get another feat, and another passive. Another spell. I go Grasping Vine, because you can set it somewhere, and then you can pull people. It lasts on the map for 10 turns, and you can just wreak havoc for those 10 turns with just a huge vine coming out of the ground. And then for these passives, dampen elements, basically you want to combat elemental attacks, Grim Harvest, if you're using necromancy spells. But magical ambush is probably the best to use here. While you're hidden, your targets have disadvantage on saving throws against your spell. So basically you can hide and throw out a hold person. I'm still going to keep going ability improvement. Make this go to 20. Now we have that capped out, and we get a +5 to intelligence checks. Witch level 9, our health's gonna go up. We're gonna get a new spell, a new passive, and we're gonna get Phase Edge, which is like all the other ones, but this time we're adding force damage to our weapons for 5 turns. And we're also improving our invisibility to greater invisibility. For spells, it doesn't really matter here. The level 5 spells aren't that good. If you were doing Grim Harvest, you might want to pick up Contagion, because it's a necromancy spell. But for me, I'm going to pick Dominate Person. Now for another passive, we're going to want the Haste. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Once per short rest, you can draw arcane power into yourself. You become hastened, gain an action, become faster, and gain +2 to armor class. So it's basically just a free haste every short rest. If you've ever used haste before, you know how good that is. Now witch level 10, we're getting more witchcraft points, but we're also getting counterattack. When a hostile creature misses you with a melee attack, spend 1 witchcraft point to enhance your reflexes enough to strike back. So it's kind of like the fighter's riposte. Nice little counterattack. Next spell, just get Wall of Stone so you can block people off. And we're not going to replace any spells. If you need to replace spells, make sure you do. You know how your game is going better than anybody else. So pick what you think you need the most. Alright, here we're going to get another passive, another spell. Let's get Greater Jinx, just because it's a new spell. All these are like vanilla spells. But arcane energy assails your foes, deals 6 to 24 necrotic damage, and inflict jinxed to targets that fail to save. Deals half damage and doesn't jinx folks that makes their saves. So yeah, that's a good spell to have. And now we can go to the bottom again and get Witchcraft Mastery. Now we're going to increase our total witchcraft points by 6. And you'll see how much witchcraft points you have at the end. It's a lot more than how many spell slots you get. Alright, now here's level 12, where we're gonna get our last feat. Witchcraft. Go Eye Bite here, or you can go Hero's Feast. It's a spell slot, so it depends on what you think you're gonna need your level 6 spell slot for. You're gonna need it for damage, or you're just gonna use it just to buff the team. If you need someone like that, and your Shadow Heart's not a healer, then go ahead and pick up his Hero's Feast. I'm gonna pick up Eye Bite just because I just like saying it. Living Shadow. You get resistance if you're in the darkness. Illusionary Self. If someone tries to attack you, you automatically create like a shadow clone to cause them to automatically miss that attack, or Misty Presence. After taking damage, you just straight up turn invisible. I like going Illusionary Self. And then for the last feat, we can just go Ability Improvement and raise our dex to 18. And that's level 12. Alright, real quick, let's look at how the Witchblade is on level 12. Okay, so we have our witch form, which allows us to turn into a cat. And this is useful because if you need to get through like any tiny holes or whatever.
Just.
Or if you just need to look inconspicuous. Make a clean getaway. You also have attacks with it, claws. You can hide, and then you can meow, which will like bring creatures closer to you. Let's see what else. Lesser Create Water. This is the cantrip for it. Okay. See, so you can kind of see how it works. You got the little line. It doesn't have as much range as the other one because it's a cantrip. But it's a quick way if you ever want to do some lightning damage. Let's try Burning Edge. So now that we got 4 turns of extra 2 to 12 fire damage, which is really good. And you can do the same thing with force, right? Phase Edge. Phase Edge, you got 5 turns of 3 to 18. And they do stack. So if you're in combat, it looked like they do stack. Alright, what else? Oh, the haste. Witchcraft Enhanced Body. It's going to use 3 witchcraft points, and as you can see at the bottom of the screen, we got 21. Alright. So now we got haste. Our armor class is only 16, but that's because the orange get up is doesn't really make your armor class go up that much. We got Witchcraft Slumber, Pincushion, which is a cantrip as well, and then we have all these moves: Greater Jinx, Telekinesis, and then we have Extra Dominate Person. Oh, we're lethargic. Alright, now the lethargy is done. Alright, let's look at a little bit of combat. For some reason I click Slumber. Obviously you can't make those things go to sleep because they're like robot mechs. So I switch it up. Hit him with the Greater Jinx. Boom. Oh, then he's got to explode. So then you gotta get out of there. I switched to the wrong person. It's Shadowheart, but she can't move. Her turn is after the robot's turn, so she got hit a little bit. And it's kind of not fair because everybody else is like level 20 and Witchblade's only level 12. But see, we put black tentacles down. Create difficult terrain, which is really good for those big, heavy guys. Because they already have like pretty much not that much movement because they're big and slow. And oh, he tried pulling me into it, but I saved. And yeah, Lae'zel's going to move up and do a crazy amount of damage. She's got disarming attack. First try, dropped it. And then I tried trip, but it's immune to prone, which is interesting. So I'm just keep shooting it. It's stuck in the black tentacles, so. And now we're moving on in to the foundry, and let's hit him with a hold person. Nice. Alright, now we can move in, because at least the closest guy is CC'd. I'm gonna be jumping around these fights too. Here's another Greater Jinx, but on a person. Dropped them all the way down to 30 HP. So, and this class could be strong with the blades too. I just didn't equip them. Now I have a short sword and a dagger, and I got Hood of the Weave. There's a really nice looking hood, but I had to hide it because I wanted to show off her red hair. We got Nymph Cloak, which gives you Dominate Person. Space Hunt Boots gives you Dimension Door. Arachnear Braces give you Telekinesis. And then we got Orin's Sword and the Stillmaker. And then I was going to try to put a ranged weapon on. But the only one I can use is a short bow. So keep that in mind. You won't have the best choices for range. Yeah, I think I just put the short bow on him because I'm about to show off the Witchblade solo. So I'm leaving my crew behind at the waypoint, and then for some reason I saw this drawbridge and I just walked over and I was like, how come I've never seen this before? But then there's an invisible wall, so they should have. Well, Larian said they're not going to do DLC, but that would be a perfect DLC thing. Like have the drawbridge come down. Okay, so I'm just scrolling through town looking for someone to fight. And these are all my skills. The skills are pretty decent. The thing with the Witchblade is it's not really like a full-on witch or like a wizard. The Witchblade specifically is more like a spell blade in the wizard class, because it's all about using weapons. And I have two weapon fighting, but in those other fights when I was with my team, I only had one sword. Now I'm going to do it with two swords, put Long Strider on myself. It's a ritual spell, so it doesn't use a spell slot. And then, I guess it would be cheap to start off with a whole person and they're not even in combat yet. So I put Phase Edge on. So I can do a beefy strike. Did you see that? Yep. I woke up this morning and chose violence. Alright, here's Illusionary Self, and it gets you that critical miss, right? So that's really helpful. He does an ensnaring strike on me, which is going to bind me and keep me from moving. And then he's going to turn around and attack me again. How dare he? I'm going to go for a hold person. And it selects 2 because it's a level 3 hold person. Boom, got both of them held. Now, kill that person. And this is only level 12. This isn't level 20. So I can imagine what level 20 blade would be like. And this is where I'm showing that you can stack these as long as you have the witchcraft points for them. If you notice at the side of my screen, I have 3 weapon buffs, and that just deleted him. So if this video helped you out in any way, drop a like, consider subscribing, and I'm gonna keep coming out with these build videos as long as I have the imagination for it, the creativity for it. And yeah, that's all. Hope you guys have a very happy Halloween. All right.